In this video, we're going to talk about how to install Barricade 2x2 subfloor panels. I am Bill Gagne and I'm here to coach you up on finishing your basement. The reason we're calling this the Dungeon Edition is because we had to truck all 125 pieces for this subfloor down the stairs and into almost a lair-like basement. And as you can see as we walk down, it's such a super glamorous project that I just had to share this with you. Now, we're going to start in that corner, and we want to start with the tongue of our pieces pointed to the corner with the grooves sticking out to make it easier for us to put it in. We choose to lay or install our walls on top of our subfloor, so we don't really worry too much about the gap between the walls. We want to have our minimum ½ inch, but sometimes we have more because the 2x4 is 3.5 inches wide and we're going to be attaching to the subfloor. How we attach the subfloor is with tapcons, which are concrete screws. So here you're seeing me pre-drill or countersink a screw hole and then drill into the slab using a hammer drill, or in it from an SDS hammer drill bit. What we want is so that the head of the screw isn't sticking up past the floor. Whatever flooring you're going to use, whether it's laminate, carpet, you're going to install some type of glue down product or nail down product, you want to have it flush to the floor. So I've started with a full piece on the first row and now a half piece on this row. And I'm using a block of wood here just to tap it along to set it in place. You don't need a mallet or anything. It's not that complicated, but you don't want to go blowing up the tongue or the groove. So I want to be able to use the block of wood just to tap it into place. Now, again, putting a tapcon in the center of the piece just to lock it in. What we're doing here is we're laying a little area down so that we can then bring the rest of the subfloor down. It's a small space to work in, so I don't want to go bringing all the pieces down and then moving them around, and it just becomes a big pain in the butt. So our plan is to tapcon down, a good square footage area so that then we can transport all the pieces down, and it works out just great for us going forward. We're not moving things around once we get started. So countersink, then I would get the hammer drill, hole. Now I'm going to get the impact driver here and the tapcon, and I'm going to screw it down. And I'm going to keep going along. The tools you're going to need for this aren't super extensive, right? I've got a drill with a countersink bit. I've got a hammer drill with the SDS bit. I've got an impact driver, and that's what I'm putting down. Normally, if you don't have an SDS hammer drill, you can use a regular drill. It's going to be a lot more work. And a lot of the times the tapcons or concrete screws you're going to buy are going to come with a bit. So it makes it a lot easier. Here I am putting a piece down. I've got a broom with me. I want to be sure that whatever I'm putting down, I'm cleaning just before there's no debris so that I don't have anything popping up my pieces and I can get flush to the floor. Tap, tap, tap. Here we go. You're going to notice that I'm going over top of an existing floor. The reason I'm doing that is because those are 9x9 tile, like glue down tiles. Now, there's a potential that 9x9 glue down tiles, if from that era, have asbestos in them. So the last thing I want to be doing is taking them up. You're going to get asbestos disturbing, or the problem with asbestos is that if you go disturbing it, that's when it's in the air. You do not want it in the air. So if you go over top of it and you're vapor sealed and you're not getting any of it in the air, you're all good. So again, trying to get my space down, tap, tap, tap with my block of wood and my hammer. I'm not blasting it or blowing it up. Now that I've got my space down, this is Connor, our renovation assistant. He's bringing them down, and here I am bringing the rest down. And as soon as I get him all these help him get all these down, I'm going to completely abandon him. This is about maybe the third or fourth subfloor that Connor's done on his own. He's been in the trades maybe 2 years, but as you can see, nothing super complicated. Now that he's getting to install, he's got a circular saw that he's going to cut all the pieces with, and he's just tap, tap, tapping away. Again, I've sped this up, so none of us are really moving this fast. It's just something that is easier for you guys to get a handle on as we go along. He will go back later on. Once we have the walls in on top, we'll go back later on and we will tapcon down the entire floor. We won't go piece by piece. What we'll do is we'll walk around, we'll look for spots that kind of are hollow or whatever, and we will screw them down in those places. We want to get the floor as tight as it can be. Sometimes we do end up screwing down the whole floor, but not necessarily all the time, just because this floor is really flat. We didn't have any shims we needed to use, but the system does have a shim option, right? So here's Charlotte, our project manager. She showed up to help. Charlotte's a Red Seal carpenter, but for some reason I wasn't available, so she's here helping Connor. He's probably working on the other end as he's blasting away. So is she. We had 125 pieces to put down, and we got it done in about a day and change. Now that includes loading it in, having it delivered, getting it down the stairs, getting set up, tapconning it in, and then cleaning out all the garbage. As you can see, plugging away, not complicated. This is something that you can do. We recommend putting the walls on top just because it's faster when it comes to install, and you're going to get less problems when you're trying to install your baseboards or your drywall. You're going to have more 2x4 at the bottom of the wall on your bottom plate to bang into, and it just locks the system in better. Remember, you still want a little bit of reveal on the outsides for expansion, but this definitely makes it easier. You don't have to cut around walls or door openings or any of that, or worry about your 1/2-inch expansion gap, because we're going to be locking this in. So you can see Charlotte's in a little area there over on the right corner where she's got to clean some stuff out. She's getting the piece in, banging it in, and she's going to cut around the corner here. Tap, tap, tap. Very straightforward. This is something that's super DIY friendly. Not a lot of tools required. And the 2x2 panels work a lot better from a handy standpoint. You're not bringing in 4x8 sheets, trying to truck them down the stairs, especially if you have a tight space. Not every project is these 1,000-square-foot basement renovations. These are just functional spaces for people. If you live in a townhouse, if you live in a basement that's under 500 square feet, if this is something you want to do in a weekend, you can pretty easily, before the walls are up, get this subfloor system down. It's a great product. Where we are in Canada, it's I think it's about $7.50 a square foot, not a square foot, per piece. So you want to calculate that. You want to add in some waste. So if you've made a floor plan, you're going to be able to go say, hey, I've got 500 square feet, divide that by 4, multiply by 10%, and then you can always just return whatever you want. This product, the Barricade product, is available at Lowe's. Home Depot's version of it is called Barricade. It's called Dricore. It's essentially the same product. So once again, I want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.